I'm fascinated by like the process by which things become news and stories. So in a couple of places, I see this headline this morning, well, last night, but it's getting more pickup this morning about Stefon Diggs chiming in on Twitter, answering a comment to a commentary. So it's like going down a rabbit hole to figure out like where did this start? Okay, so RG3 on his podcast, which by the way, shout out to RG3, love what he's doing. I continue to be amused by the fact that for centuries, not really centuries, but for a long time, people like you and me, Michael, have been told that we just want to be the athletes, when all along they want to be us. And they're doing a great job of it. They're doing a great job of it. It's RG3 among them. So he's on talking about Stefon Diggs, and he's singing Stefon Diggs' praises and saying how, Josh Allen needs Stefon Diggs. They need to stay together to keep the Bills Super Bowl window open, and how much better Allen has made Diggs. Or Diggs has made Allen, I beg your pardon, since his arrival, which everybody knows that. That's no secret. That's not a hot take. So the Peaky Pirate chimes in. The Peaky Pirate is somebody on social media.
Peaky Pirate.
Does Josh benefit from having a top-tier receiver? Yes. Is he essential to his success, as RG3 suggested? No. And then Diggs chimes in and says, "You sure?" Now I'm gonna bet. I haven't combed through Stefon Diggs as follows, but I'm gonna bet that Stefon Diggs looked at the video and then subjected himself to scrolling through the comments in a reaction to said video. Okay?
Yeah.
And decided to say, "You sure?" Which, two things. One, why Stefon? Like, I mean, I get it. It's a habit, and they've all grown up with social media. It's like you don't need to dignify the Peaky Pirate's take with your response, and like, you know what you mean to that organization, even though down the stretch he didn't seem to mean much. I mean, I think he had 3 catches against the Chiefs, and his last 100-yard game was week 6. Holy shit.
It's funny.
Holy shit.
It's funny that you would say that, right?
Shit.
How about that?
Okay, wait, first of all, hold on, Gary. What's your source? What is your source? Where are you seeing this?
Let's just make sure it's the real one.
We want to make sure we're not getting trolled. Adam Schefter.
Let's check the spelling. Let's check the spelling.
Okay, yeah, right, exactly. This is not a... Well, it's the same avatar as him and Mort, rest in peace. Same avatar. Yeah. 4-time Pro Bowl wide receiver to the Houston Texans for draft pick compensation. Oh, my God. I love it when stuff happens in real time. Sorry, Peaky Pirate, your 15 minutes of fame are up. Stefon Diggs with the Texans. Oh, my goodness. Whew.
So,
since I'm a degenerate, I have to get this off. My pick of C.J. Stroud as the 3rd pick in our Dynasty Startup Draft looks even better. Okay, but now, I'm not to make it about me. Not to make it about me. Not to make it about me. The league has problems right now. There's a lot to unpack here. All right, you want to take it from the Texans side first or the Bills side?
Well, let's start with the Bills because the Texans side.
All right, let's start with the Bills.
The Texans are good.
Well, wait, hold on. Okay, actually, let's close the loop. Let's close the Peaky Pirate loop. Clearly, the answer is no. The Bills do not deem Stefon Diggs to be essential to the success of Josh Allen. Clearly. They were on the side of the Peaky Pirate. No, he is not essential because the Bills, after marginalizing Stefon Diggs down the stretch, once Joe Brady took over, Stefon Diggs disappeared last year, have now sent him to Houston. So we got our answer. All right, take it from the Bills side.
Well,
go.
But if you're Josh Allen right now, let's start with Josh Allen. Right now, you got some issues with Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott. You really do.
Do you?
Because your top 2 receivers from last year are gone. Gabe Davis off to Jacksonville. Stefon Diggs off to Houston, and all you've got to show for it is a T-shirt and some draft picks. So as a
Khalil
quarterback,
Shakir to the moon. Sorry, I'm in Dynasty mode.
We're familiar. We're familiar with his work. I told you.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
Yeah, go
I'd
ahead.
be upset. I'd be upset if I'm Josh Allen. Now, for
Would you?
Stefon Diggs, does this make us all right? Can we stop the BS, Buffalo? And this is for you, Diggs, and for you, Allen, and for you, McDermott, and everybody else. Can we stop it? We were right the entire time, right? He was not happy when his brother said,
Right.
"Got to get you up
Right.
out of there,"
Right.
and all kinds
Right.
of stuff. And
When he didn't show up to the facility.
and his walkout, and
Yeah.
all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it was a problem. See, I can't stand you. You talk about the athletes doing a great job, but nobody has done a good job of doing what we do and just
is called
keeping
bullshit?
it a buck. Yeah,
Right.
keep it a buck.
No, when they cover
Just saying,
themselves, they
dude
can
ain't
cover
happy.
things
He
up.
wasn't happy.
When they cover themselves, they can cover things up. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, stop. Can we stop lying now? We can be real. And all the stories gonna come out now. All the stories. The same people who said, "Oh, the national media making it up," and "Hey, you don't understand Buffalo." Now the stories. Check the Buffalo News. All the inside the demise of the Stefon Diggs Josh Allen relationship. Inside the demise, and Diggs is gonna be go from being a good guy to being selfish, and he wanted the money and he wanted more credit. Anyway, that's
So that's
over in
why-
Buffalo. But Buffalo's got some problems now because that dude's a dog. He's a
Well,
dog.
he's a very good player, but you just laid
No,
out
he's more than a very
why-
good player.
Okay,
He's more than a very
all
good
right.
player.
Okay, great. Okay, whatever. Fine.
Yes.
He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. I'm saying
Yes.
you just laid out all the issues that they've had. Now those issues are resolved. Go be great somewhere else, as we like to say here on this show. Like, if you're Josh Allen, are you really upset? To the Peaky Pirates point, are you really, is Stefon Diggs essential? Yes, the trajectory of Josh Allen's career changed when Brian Daboll and company fixed his mechanics coming out of Wyoming, and he got Stefon Diggs, and other teams have copied that.
And
We
they
talked
both
about
gone.
it. Getting that top-notch receiver, whether it's A.J. Brown in Philadelphia or Stefon Diggs in Buffalo, it's like that accelerates the growth of your young quarterback. But if I'm Josh Allen, hell, maybe I'm tired of having to find ways to spin the drama that's going on behind the scenes. Because maybe that's just the tip of the iceberg that we're hearing. And so you have Khalil Shakir, you have Dalton Kincaid, you just signed Curtis Samuel. I mean, listen, I'm not suggesting that Josh Allen can necessarily replicate what Patrick Mahomes did once they traded Tyreek Hill. There's precedence for trading a great receiver and watching the quarterback thrive without him, but it's possible. And it's the deepest receiver class in recent memory. Like, a lot of people were already mocking the receiver. Gabe Davis was a blocker. Like, they didn't utilize Gabe Davis properly. He was a great team guy, great locker room guy, but they didn't utilize Gabe Davis as a receiver outside of that 4-touchdown game he had in the playoffs against the Chiefs. So I don't remember. He was very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. He had his moments, but very inconsistent participation.
Can I ask you real quick?
You got Josh
Can I ask you
Allen.
real quick?
Draft one of these dog receivers in this draft, or one or two of them, and move on without the headache of a guy, again, talented, but who was clearly high maintenance. Like, I don't think Josh Allen should be pissed off by this at all. I think he should be relieved.
Can I ask you a question? Because I personally like old houses. If the house wasn't built, if it ain't got an 18 in front of it, 1800 something, I really don't like it. I like old houses. So I like those old windows, like the bay windows, and they're a little drafty, and they got the wavy glass in there, and old school. And some people like the new windows. Whatever window you like, though, Michael Smith, you have to acknowledge the window is closing. Maybe it's closed in Buffalo. It's closed. It's
I don't know.
over. It's over.
To quote, okay, we're going here again. We know how popular you are in Buffalo. To quote Joe Burrow,
they know it.
The window is
They
my
don't know
career.
that.
The window is my career,
listen,
to quote Joe Burrow.
they don't
as
know
long as
that
Josh
now?
Allen is there, they have the ability to be a playoff team. And if they're in the playoffs, to
great.
quote
So
Raheem
what?
Morris, you don't know what the could happen. Well, in Buffalo,
we
they
do.
kind of do.
But they do.
That's
but
so
they do. It's over.
That's not
Anyway,
even
let's
fun.
have some fun. Let's talk about the transfer, though. There's a transfer. Buffalo going down. Buffalo going down.
Man.
And
Houston's
Houston
a problem.
Texans.
First of all,
rising.
Houston sports, basketball, the NFL, like just Houston sports in general. No, man, listen, this is great for C.J. Stroud, great for Houston. They kept their offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick. He was supposed to be like a head coaching candidate. They kept him. Tank Dell's coming back healthy. They re-signed Dalton Schultz, Nico Collins. They got Joe Mixon. Bro, they going to be scary on offense. And we talked a couple of weeks ago about what DeMeco Ryans and Nick Caserio did to remake that defense in DeMeco Ryans' image. Bro, Houston was already coming. They're here now. Provided that, like, Tank Dell and Nico Collins had a great season, provided that Stefon Diggs goes in there with the right attitude and he's not a problem for Houston, bruh, he got somebody who will get in the ball and get in the ball where he wants it in TJ Stroud, for sure.
Can I tell you the terms of this? Can I tell you the terms of this trade?
Well, you just got, what, second rounder in 25, right? Second rounder in 25? What else?
A 2025 second round pick going to Buffalo?
And they're giving a fifth and 25. So they're giving them picks to get it. Okay, so you want to answer that question again?
Oh,
Josh Allen should be upset.
Okay.
Clearly, they couldn't get him out of Dodge fast enough. Will they rule this day? They might. But that says, like, you know what? We want to facilitate this trade. This isn't quite the Broncos paying Russell Wilson to play for the Steelers. But this is like, hey, man, you know what? We want this 25 seconds so bad. Take this sixth rounder this year and this fifth next year.
Isn't that what the realtors tell you? Hey, can we get a deal? Well, all I can tell you is that the seller's ready. You know you're about to get a deal when they say that. It's time. The seller thinks it's time.
Wow.
Yeah, get this out of here. So look, Stefon Diggs was probably a pain in the ass. Okay, and both things can be true. I'm sure he was a pain. We saw him on the sideline.
I'm a pain in the ass, but I'm
not
worth
this
it.
year.
I will never criticize somebody for being a pain in the ass. If you know what I'm saying. If you're good, you make exceptions for exceptional people. If you're good enough,
that's right.
You know, there you go.
Now, I'm good with that. Not this year's playoff loss, not the playoff loss to Kansas City at home, but the playoff loss at home in the snow. In Western New York, Buffalo, in the snow, you get pushed around in the snow, but Stefon Diggs was losing his mind on the sideline then. And so I'm sure it's been going on for a long time. But you know what?
This relationship
I'll
ran
bet
its course.
you. Okay, but Mike, do you think this is something, it's just like a habit he suddenly developed, or do you think when they went to Kansas City and they thought they were going to win the game and 13 seconds left on the clock, do you think Stefon Diggs that season, do you think he was a pain in the ass that season? I bet he was.
Sure.
So I'm not sure it's cause and effect. He's a pain, and therefore we're not blaming.
I'm not blaming him for their demise at all. But look, you said you like old houses. I have a rule when it comes to closets and attics. If I ain't using it, I probably don't need it. So if we cleaning stuff out, I'm throwing it away. I'm not looking through it being like, oh, should I keep this? That. Like if I haven't thought about it, it must not be important. Stefon Diggs was an afterthought down the stretch of last season and in the playoffs. So if you ain't gonna throw him the ball, send him to somebody who will. You want the last word on this one?
I'll just say just very quickly on this, Mike. So this is what's happened in less than a year in Buffalo.
Oh, you still
Sean
waiting
McDermott,
on Buffalo?
Yeah. I just want to point out, because this is it. This is it for him. This is it right here this year for McDermott. He's got to do something or he's out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. He's gotten rid of his offensive coordinator. O coordinator's gone. D coordinator's gone.
Ken Dorsey's gone. Leslie Frazier went before that. Yeah.
And so Ken Dorsey, Leslie Frazier, and now Stefon Diggs.
To say nothing of the exodus they had on. There are a lot of veteran guys departed for salary cap reasons on defense. So it's a makeover.
But I'm talking about these are major figures in the organization.
Sure.
Your number one guy on offense gone. Your number one guy on defense gone. Your number one wide receiver gone. You're not going to get rid of Josh Allen. This
Yeah.
is on you and Bean. If the team,
Yeah.
if they just make the playoffs, as you said, they can still make the playoffs. So they make
Yeah,
the
no, that's
playoffs
not
this
enough.
year and they lose.
No, it's not enough.
See you later.
They got
Thanks for
to
coming.
find a way to take advantage of Josh Allen's window. I want to see what they do in the draft now. I want to see which receiver they end up with in the draft because they're going to get one. And Khalil Shakir was really good. Like dynasty references aside, Khalil Shakir is a really good player for them. Is he a one? I don't think. No, he's not a guy that you could see stepping into the shoes of Stefon Diggs. But among Shakir,
sure hope so.
Kincaid, Samuel, yeah, I told you gonna get hooked on that narcotic. All right, I love how that
your
started. It
fault.
started with like
Damn,
had
man.
no idea where this was
Damn.
going. This was just but once recording in the morning paid off because like wow, never know what a day is gonna bring. We were talking about Stefon Diggs questioning whether or not or responding to the question of whether or not he was essential to Josh Allen's success. Well, he got his answer.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.